Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to follow me. Sorry for being so intense. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you have not already done so, there's a link in the description below. Well, it didn't take long for bullishness to re-enter the market somehow. Despite what might be going on any given day in the market, we're always going to have some kind of a Bitcoin bull. I'm not sure if how do I say this? I'm not sure if people are jumping too far ahead, or maybe this is just completely accurate. We'll have to actually tell within the next couple of years. If you haven't been here before, one of the main themes of cryptocurrency news and also Bitcoin news usually revolves around the idea of people being like so bullish that we end up getting intense, nice word, intense cryptocurrency predictions, and this one is no different. Michael Saylor, made famous not for his sailing, but from purchasing Bitcoin, is back in the news once again. MicroStrategy has been doing this really weird thing for the last like 2 or 3 months where they keep pretending that they're not buying Bitcoin, and then we find out that they bought more Bitcoin. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like a what? That's crazy. How would you do that? Kind of thing. But this time is slightly different. And I will preface this and link it in later on as well, is that this also lightly has to do with the strategic crypto reserve. Michael Saylor was recently on TV discussing the future prospects of Bitcoin and was slightly sidetracked when given the words that the XRP and other coins were also going to be a part of the strategic reserve, and he had to kind of like grin and bear it because Michael Saylor owns 9 quadrillion Bitcoin, and therefore, scusa, and also wants it to be the only coin on the market as well. This time, Michael Saylor's not only bullish, but he's essentially saying that he thinks that Bitcoin is going to, what would that be? One, two, skip a few. I guess it's around like $60-70 million per coin or something like that. Recently on CNBC, Michael Saylor said that he thinks right now Bitcoin is on track to reaching a $20 trillion market cap. For some kind of context, don't know if you know, but we've been getting rumors for a while that a number of countries have already been secretly buying up a lot of Bitcoin. A lot of people don't already know that the United States is already in possession of 200,000 Bitcoin. That people go, they no buy yet, and it's like, yeah, they do buy yet. They've had that. I mean, it was taken from, but they've had it for a very, very long time. The idea that other countries are buying, we're seeing and still getting news that the states, if you missed it, are individually moving forward with their own Bitcoin bills. Many of them apparently almost done. So saith Dennis Porter. But now we're also at the front door of the United States also buying Bitcoin as well. The guesstimations from, at least from that we're hearing from Cynthia Lummis, is that it's meant to be over 1 million Bitcoin minimum that the United States is going to buy. He thinks that we're moving to a $20 trillion market cap. That would essentially, would that 20x Bitcoin, 15x Bitcoin? That's attempts. Okay, like a $1.5-2 million Bitcoin, somewhere around there. And then he thinks that's going to further 10x apparently very soon. Saylor argued that the U.S. should, and here's the words not crazy. He's just overly eccentric. Michael Saylor has been known to say quite intense things about Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency market. If you remembered last year, Michael Saylor in summer said that he believes or thinks that the United States should actually own 51% of all the Bitcoin that there is. And I was like, that's not going to happen because other people own Bitcoin and there's not 51% left on the actual market. So now he's calling for something slightly different, but still very eccentric. He said that the U.S. should acquire Bitcoin as part of the strategic reserve. Thank you for giving them permission because that was already going to happen. Apparently, he's been engaging with policymakers, including members of the Trump administration. What? Who would have guessed that? In an interview, he positioned Bitcoin as its own asset class. Wow. That does not compete with the US dollar, but rather with global equities and real estate. For those of you, and I'll try and give it to you as quickly as humanly possible. Bitcoin maximalists believe that not only is the US dollar and other fiat currencies, are they going to inflate forever, but as you print more money and continue pushing it into Bitcoin, there's therefore an infinite amount of Bitcoin that could be pushed into Bitcoin, therefore rising its price forever. The other knock-on effect, and we're seeing sprinkles of this right now, and we have been for a number of years. Why did my chair just squeak like that? The other idea is that we've seen companies and institutions over a couple of years. It's not full force, but we've seen a lot of them selling off their positions in gold and their position in paper gold or precious metals, what have you, and moving that money into crypto instead. One of the ideas, this is why he said global equities and real estate. The idea is that Bitcoin would become so big that you would have no choice but to FOMO into the market. You would realize Bitcoin's over $1 million. That thing I bought for 300,000 is still at 300,047. It's not, $1 million. And therefore, we would see a large sell-off of these other asset classes, that money being pushed into Bitcoin, causing a further acceleration of Bitcoin's price. He said right now, we're about 2 trillion in Bitcoin. It's going to 20 trillion. Then it's going to $200 trillion as a market cap. Then it's growing 20% a year. This is also, these things keep popping up, and I don't know if Bitcoin maximalists are having powwows with each other. This isn't a joke, because they're all kind of saying the same ideas over and over as far as what the tipping points are going to be. If you remember a month and a half ago, 2 months, there's a guy named Samson Mow, M-O-W, who believes that Bitcoin is going to begin to experience movements. Each movement will be around $10,000. His idea is that if Bitcoin moves up roughly, if Bitcoin moves up 10,000 right now, that's 10% of the price. Got it. If Bitcoin's at $1 million and it moves up by 10%, that's 1% of the price. If Bitcoin's at 10 million and moves up by 10,000 in a day or a week, is that 0.1% of the... So therefore, he thinks that we're going to live in a world where the actual movements in Bitcoin's price are going to be tens of thousands per day or over the course of a week. And that's when Michael Saylor then said he believes that the United States alone should acquire 20% of all Bitcoin. I don't know if he's ever learned what centralization or decentralization is, because for those of you who haven't caught on, that would be terrible, because no one is supposed to own that much Bitcoin. It's literally meant for people on the planet and not governments. And that's part of the kicker, that we keep getting news that governments are buying and already own a lot of Bitcoin. So when I've been saying over the years, hey, there's not a lot of Bitcoin left, and people go, there's a lot on crypto exchanges, I'm like, okay, cool. Keep not paying attention and tell me exactly where that goes for you in the next 15 years. Because as of right now, we don't have an exact date, but the United States is going to be buying Bitcoin and a number of other altcoins. And it's going to rock the planet. It's not going to, oh my gosh, wow, that's kind of cool. No, it's going to be like one of the most dramatic things in the entire world. And I find it weird that people keep pretending that it's not going to happen. So this lightly, he didn't give a time frame, but Michael Saylor tends to do like 10 to 15 year jumps when he's talking about Bitcoin. It falls lightly in line with other people who we've heard from before as to where they think Bitcoin is going to go. I don't think the world is ready for a $200 trillion market cap. Don't confuse that with, I don't think it's going to happen. It's just more of we're going to see so much panic in the market at even $20 trillion. And I don't think a lot of people are ready to realize that they squandered and wasted 15 to 16, almost 2 decades of not buying Bitcoin and investing in the cryptocurrency space. So when we do get to that point, I'm expecting a lot of mental anguish as far as people who realize kind of what they missed out on. It's going to be fascinating times ahead. Yeah, nice to see everyone still very bullish on the cryptocurrency space, especially for where prices are probably going to go in the very near future. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.